I'm Tom Layson, and this is a Northwest Now Digital Extra. Human trafficking is said to be a $150 billion industry around the globe, with Seattle one of the 8 worst hotspots in the U.S. for sex trafficking. In fact, Seattle and King County law enforcement estimate that up to 500 teenagers are working as sex slaves every day across King County. Some victims are kidnapped from overseas. Others are U.S. citizens, coerced into a destructive lifestyle through violence or threats. All are vulnerable and in need of help to get out of the life.
To the tourist or typical resident, Seattle is a shining city of opportunity and hope for the future. But on the streets, where the money flows grudgingly and power relationships kick down instead of helping up, thousands of people are regularly exploited in the sex trade, on the streets by circumstance, and kept there by force. Kyra Dubeck was in the life for 7 years, abused at home, a runaway, and an easy target for the predators who bought and sold her. But she got out, got cleaned up, got educated, and now is a mother of 3 and working as an advocate for trafficking victims. I asked her what her #1 concern is right now. Her answer is the state's under-resourced child welfare system, where wards flee the system only to end up in the hands of traffickers.
We do not have enough foster homes at all. That's a big call to action. If you have the ability to be a foster parent, be a foster parent, because we need good homes more than anything right now, because right now we send these kids off to group homes and it's just a continuation of kids running away because group homes are not families and they suck. Nobody wants to be in a group home. If I'm a kid and I'm a young person, I want to be at home and I want to feel loved and I want to have a family. I don't want to be sitting there in this place that feels like a glorified jail cell with maybe some prettier colors on the wall. I want to have a family and I want to feel loved and I want to go to school. And I've had a really hard life and I'm positive that people are going to give up on me. And they show me love out there on the streets. So even though there's a lot of bad stuff that happens, they always have my back. That's what's going on. That's what nobody's talking about.
What people are talking about this week is the story of Centoya Brown, granted clemency by Tennessee's governor in the killing of a John when she was just 16. Kyra says there are many Centoyas in Washington needing relief from old assault, drug, and robbery charges that were necessary in a victim's past, but now standing in the way of a future.
There are so many cases of people who are victims of human trafficking as minors and as adults that are currently incarcerated because of a drug charge or because of a domestic violence charge or an assault charge, because that's what they had to do to either stay alive or they were hooked on something, and it's a lot deeper and more complicated than we seem to realize. You know, there's a high prevalence of people who experience domestic violence and never call and never call and never call, and then finally they fight back, and then they finally get called on, like 911 is called on them, and then they go to jail. I know a handful of women right now that are sitting in King County that's happened to.
Dubeck says more legislation is needed to get old charges tossed once a trafficking victim emerges from the hidden world of exploitation to rejoin the world the rest of us are living in.
To get help or report trafficking, the Attorney General's WATraffickingHelp.org website is available, and nationally, the PolarisProject.org runs the National Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. To see our full discussion about human trafficking, be sure to look in the Northwest Now section of KBTC.org. Northwest Now airs Friday nights at 7:30 right here on KBTC, and be sure to look for more digital stories like this one by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Northwest Now.